Hi, I am Nena von Haymasy. I have been working for many years on composites, especially regarding the material properties. I am frequently asked as a lecturer and conduct many in-house training courses. Obviously, lighting is always a big issue there. The curing of composites, which is related to the material properties. I realize that lighting is always a big issue. Since the end of last year, only LEDs can be used for workplace lighting. Although LEDs have a lot of advantages, the decisive disadvantage is that our material simply starts to set while we're working. I was really pleased that Renfert approached me for cooperation on the new light one, and I contributed my knowledge and expertise, which I would like to share also with you in this video. Our goal was to find the optimal illumination for processing composites, as well as the optimal illumination for finishing composites, because two different light sources are required. I'm pleased to share a few things with you in this video, perhaps a few tricks and tips, and I am happy to present these different types of light to you using my working method. LEDs have a very intense high blue component in the 400 to 500 nanometer range. However, this is exactly the curing range for composites. That means that the photoinitiators in the material react to this range of light, which is also used by all light curing devices. When processing composites, we obviously do not want this light component, and therefore, in cooperation with Renfert, we developed a composite mode for Light 1, which can be activated at the touch of a button. This means there's nothing I need to set. I simply press a button and get the composite mode, which provides me with a processing time of around 30 minutes, allowing me to work the material safely before it starts to set. We have slightly reduced the blue component without getting too far into the yellow and orange range, since this obviously would alter the light. We aim to work in natural light because, especially with composite, it is important to distinguish the color shades when layering, working, or finishing them. If the light becomes too orange, we can hardly distinguish any color nuances. The light range we specifically designed is so important because it ensures that we can work in the natural light range while having sufficient processing time. In addition to the color spectrum, the light intensity also plays a crucial role, and we've optimized this too in the composite mode. In terms of light intensity, we achieved an optimal range for processing our composite. In addition to the light color, and the light intensity, there are other factors that play a major role. Even the color of the mixing tray may have an impact on our composite. White mixing trays reflect the light. This means the processing time is shorter, but it is much easier to distinguish the shades on the white background. On a black mixing tray, the processing time is slightly longer, but it is more difficult to distinguish the shades. Well, I guess everyone must find out for themselves how to handle it best. I prefer to work with a white mixing tray because I can see the different shades much better. But we can say, in general, that translucent or transparent materials cure much faster than opaque or relatively densely filled materials. This is a fundamental distinction. Towards the end of this video, let's get back to Light 1 and one or two features that I really appreciate in this light. Even working with the cuvette, the composite mode gives me, for example, when injecting the incisal material, which is much more light sensitive than, let's say, dentine. The composite mode gives me the optimal working range, and I really don't have to be concerned about the material starting to harden during injection. Even for larger restorations, I can work with the cuvette in composite mode without any concerns. Now, we've talked a lot about the composite mode and the composite processing time, but once it has cured, I need to work on it and finish it properly, and I need light for these tasks. And this is why I am going to light 1. For me, the second decisive advantage of this light is the home button, where I have set the optimal working light for me, so that I simply need to press the home button and get my work light, providing me with an enormous amount of light, which is limited to my workspace and does not dazzle, for totally relaxed and, above all, fatigue-free work. I get back to my work with a completely new enthusiasm and pleasure.